Yo, greetings. Today we're cooking. I'm cooking with my granddaughter. She loves cooking, and I'm very happy to be teaching her to cook a few little Jamaican dishes that little kids can cook. This is Sasha. This is my 8-year-old granddaughter, and so she makes, what would we make you? Quarter Jamaican. Alright, so cool. Today what we're making is, we're gonna make some fritters, salt fish fritters. We're also gonna be cooking steamed fish, Jamaican style. Sasha doesn't really like fish that much. You do? Cool, alright. So we're gonna have some steamed fish for dinner, but this these fritters are just for a snack in the middle of the day. So, and we also have some ripe plantains. My plantains all ripe all at once, so I have to peel them, cut them up, and freeze them. They're perfect when you cook them back later, whether you fry them or put them in the oven. It's pretty cool. So I'll run you through some of the ingredients we're going to be cooking with today. Later on with the fish, we're going to have rice and peas, of course. It's a Jamaican staple. And we're also going to have roasted cauliflower. So to do this, what we're going to do is just put a bit of olive oil over it, turn the oven up to about 150, and pour oil and salt on the cauliflower, and then pop it in the oven. 15-20 minutes, it's perfect and ready. So because we're making steamed fish, we've got some spinach, we've got some bok choy. These are what we call broccolinis. They're a different variety of broccoli.
We have thyme.
Thyme, and we have thyme on our hands as well. Look, we got thyme right here.
We got garlic.
Garlic. What's this?
Tomato.
So we have some tomatoes. We also have some little cherry ripe tomatoes.
Pepper.
Pepper, but you know, capsicum or sweet pepper they call it in Jamaica. And today we're going with the Rastaman color. We're going red, green. Oh, hang on, slippery. Red, green, and gold. Yeah.
Yellow.
Gold.
Yellow.
I like gold. Okay, this is Sasha for you.
First it's
Pink salt. Grab an onion, please, and close the cupboard door, please. So we're cooking with garlic, onion, thyme. We have some beans. We're gonna cut up these green beans and put them with our fish. Onions in that back there. There should be at least one there. We've got Scotch bonnet peppers, all different kinds of variety. We've got the chocolate brown ones, we've got red ones, we've got yellow ones, and we have some green ones down the bottom there. That's all gonna come well, and of course the pink salt from the Himalayas, and some onion. I'll give you a little secret about the onions. What I've done earlier on is peel the onion and stick them in the freezer so that when we go to cut them, all that gas doesn't come out and sting you in the eyes. Hopefully it works. Pick up this tip. Alright, time to wash our hands. You get some soap, some water, and wash up. Wash properly the back of your hands. If you've got long fingernails, make sure you cut them before you start cooking for me, because I will not eat your food if your fingernails are dirty. I don't even like nail polish on anyone cooking my food. You got nail polish on? Oh my god. What have we got here? Anyway. Alright. You can dry up your hands. Paper towel. We've got some paper towel over here. One for me, or one for you? One for you. One for me. Alright, cool. So, this fritters is pretty simple, pretty easy. So I'll have to tell you this, I've been boiling this fish because whoa, what happened there? We're using salted cod fish to make these fritters. So Sashi, I can get you started on your dish. If you follow me, we should be fine. So we're using a couple of cups of flour. So get with your flour. Get the flour in the pan. Alright, and then what we're going to do is get a fork because you're going to be mixing around, yeah? This can get really messy. We're not hoping to get it messy, but it can get a bit messy. So Sasha, you need to strip your little thyme leaves and get them about that much for your stuff. Strip the thyme leaves. This is fresh thyme from the garden. Get it in there. Sashi's might be a little bit different to mine because Sashi doesn't really like too much spice. So probably gonna split the tomatoes. I'll cut them for you. Chop up some tomatoes.
I cut them.
Huh?
How can I cut them?
I don't want you to cut your fingers.
I won't.
Well, I've cut my fingers before.
Except my friend once cut her finger off. And I
Right off.
not right off, you just see the burn.
Wow, that's quite dramatic, don't you think? Alright, so we got some tomatoes in your plate there.
I'm still not done doing the time.
You're not done doing the thyme? Keep the thyme going. And for that, we're going to get a half a teaspoon of salt. That salt is quite potent. It's very more concentrated than normal salt. So it's a bit more salty than regular salt. So be careful when you use it. Mix it in, Sasha, put a little bit of salt in there. Half a teaspoon of salt. Spread it all around and mix it all around. I'll give you some more tomatoes in yours. I'm not going to put any chili in this dish because we're cooking for little kids.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's enough. Mix it all up with a spoon. Mix, 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 mix. Then you put a little bit of all of those spices. Got some here. All those spices. Get it all in. And you put a half a teaspoon of each of those in there as well. And you keep doing that, mixing it all around. I'll clean up this fish. Get the fish over to you.
I just need to mix.
Keep mixing it. Mixing, mixing, mixing. We're making Jamaican fritters. Alright, so what I've done with the saltfish is I've actually boiled it out because it's quite salty, and you know, if you don't boil it out, what will happen is, yeah, you get, sometimes the fish is quite tough, so you gotta cook it to make sure it's not, you know, too dry when you put it in your fritters. So I'll prepare this a little bit for Sashi. Get all the bones out. One thing I say to people every time, when you're eating fish, just remember that a fish has bones, lots of little bones. It's like their secret weapon for when you try to eat them. So make sure when you serve someone fish, remind them, hey, you're eating fish. And guess what? Fish has bones. So make them look out for their own bones. I never, when my children were young, like Sashi's mother, I never refrained from feeding them fish, but I always tell them, you look out for the bones and make sure they don't get stuck in your throat because it's quite painful. That bowl is pretty close to the edge. Bring it back. Okay. All right, Sashi, I'm gonna leave you to do this. Like I said, it gets quite messy, but you can shred that little bit of fish. Just keep. No, you do it. You just keep shredding it and breaking it up into smaller pieces. I've got to do my own. I'm doing yours and mine.
No, you're just doing mine.
I'm doing mine as well.
No, you're just doing yours.
Well, that's yours then. How's it going?
Nice. This smells nice.
Smells nice?
Yeah.
One thing I say about food, it smells nice. What do I always say? If it smells nice, it tastes nice. Yes. You've been learning. So today we're actually cooking in overalls. Like, you know, this is a serious business. It gets messy, like most mechanics and engineers and builders would work in overalls because their job's messy. We get messy here. Are you singing in the kitchen, Sashi?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think singing was allowed in the kitchen. Oh, there's one thing that is not allowed in the kitchen. Do you know what that is? Have a guess. I give you 3 shots at it.
Dogs?
Dogs? No, dogs are fine. As long as they don't have anything to do with the cooking, they can hang around and watch and get any little thing that fall on the ground. That's fine. What
Dirt.
else?
Dirt?
Dirt? We definitely don't want dirt. Now you can start adding your codfish, the salt fish, the salt fish, without the bones. So use your fingers to pick them up and put them in the flour and mix them around as you go along and mix in all the spices.
All my spices are already mixed.
Yeah, keep mixing up. So what I would do if I were you, I'd use my right hand to mix and my left hand to pick up the stuff, because your right hand is your favorite, better hand, isn't it?
Well, I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, maybe your mom can take on some of this mixture to do her own fritters at your
Okay,
place.
done.
It's all in. Mixing it up, mixing it up, mixing it up. It's got fish on it, got fishy hands. Cool it. Alright, get the fritters mix going.
Mine's already.
Yours already in. Are you wasting any of the fish? What's all this fish still on the board? The only thing we don't want it's the bones. Alright, Sashi, it's time for us to test out whether we have achieved the non-stinging of the eyes of the onions. What you can do is you can wear goggles, if you like. You can wear glasses to stop your eyes from stinging with onions, if you like. But let's have a look, see if we've achieved what we set out to achieve. Sashi, I would still say for you, so this is just coming out of the freezer. I would stand back a little bit and I would tell you if they're gonna sting. So this shouldn't sting your eyes because it's been in the freezer now for about 10 minutes. And should be perfectly fine to just, cut with no sting. No sting in the tail. Alright. So we're gonna get some of this onion in the fritters. We normally put in some scallion as well, but we didn't go shopping this week. We're just trying to cook with whatever we can find in the cupboard. We're not doing any shopping this week because we have to also learn to survive on what we've got, and we're also practicing not wasting anything. So we don't want to have to throw away anything we have in the cupboard. We're going to try and just cook with what we've got. We're not doing any shopping. Yeah. So there's lots of things. We didn't stockpile anything. But you know, after shopping every single week for 6 months, what you'll have is stuff in your cupboard that you need to use up, and in your fridge and in your freezer. And it's always a challenge to just look in your fridge and see what you've got and say, I'm gonna make a meal out of this. And what you find often is that it is something very healthy, because you always have the healthy stuff lingering in your fridge. Yeah, so you find lots of fruit and veggies, and it's amazing what you can make out of them, for sure. All right, Sashi, so there's still a little bit of a sting in the onion, so I'm not gonna put too much in yours. You can feel it? Well, stay away from it, all right? Keep some of this aside into my pot, mixing it up. Sashi, always mixing up. And you see what we're doing here, peoples? We're also marinating the fish at the same time for dinner later. Put in some thyme, some onions in there. We're gonna have steamed fish. Oh, this steamed fish is gonna go down. It is gonna go down. Gonna go down like what do you got on, like the Titanic? Maybe not like Titanic. Titanic went down in a bad way. Mix it all up, mix it all up. Alright, I think we're getting pretty close now, Sashi, where we start adding a little bit of water at a time. Yeah, you do your own stuff, sweetheart. Add a little bit at a time and just keep mixing it up. No, more than that. Add half of that water in that bowl. Alright, just mix it all up. Just don't look over this side because you will end up with stingy eyes. This is for or later on mud cook up, okay? There's a lot of greens and yellow and red stuff going into this fish. It's a Rastaman dish. Although the Rasta don't eat no fish, according to some Rasta. Yes, so if you notice what I'm saying, it's not vegetarian and it's not vegan, it's Rasta food, red, green and gold food. Even one of the fish red snapper.
It's hard to mix.
So yeah, just put more water in it because it's gotta be very, very liquidy, loose. Put more in. Because that's how you make fritters, sweetheart. You're not making dumplings. More water. Put all of that water in, actually. Yeah, and mix it all up. Whoops. Gentle. I'm gonna give you a hand. Just to break this up. So what you do is, you're doing it the wrong way. Just keep doing it like that. Hang on.
Your nails.
Whose nail?
Yours.
I don't have nails. I do not. Use the fork and break this up. Break it all up, break it all up, break it all up. Do I?
Yes.
Oh, well it goes in, you know. Remember, that's where we wash our hands, yeah? Make sure our hands are clean. So what you're gonna need here is some more of this mixture in yours. It's a little bit too watery. We don't want it too watery. Stick it in there. Just keep mixing it up. I'm gonna put a little bit of baking powder in it just to give it a little bit of fluff. A little bit of baking powder, half a teaspoon baking powder. You do that. Making Jamaican saltfish fritters. This is supposed to be a very, very quick meal. It's supposed to take you less than 20 minutes. If you got the kids getting ready for school and you want to get them a quick breakfast. Most time in Jamaica, mom just use the saltfish. Just give it a nice wash and clean and it cooks in the fritters. Because it's fish and it doesn't take too long to cook. Keep mixing it up, Sashi, and then we're gonna... Your arms hurt?
Yes.
Do you want me to help you?
No, I've already done mixing.
Alright. You think you can taste it or you don't want to taste it yet?
I'll taste it.
Taste it to see if it's salty, if it's nice. What do you think?
Not so
It's not salty? Yeah, is it? It's nice? Oh, awesome. So, you reckon you can make that on your own?
Yes.
So what's the next step, do you think? Next step, we're going to get a pan on the fire. We're going to get a pan on the fire. And, yep, you get a frying pan. Get a frying pan. You can't? What about on the bottom there? Down the very bottom. I didn't mean to.
Which one?
Huh? Yeah, yeah. Over there. We're putting everything green into this dish. Green and red and yellow. And this is going to be the steamed fish of all steamed fish. I'm telling you. Sashi, what are you trying to do?
Turn it on.
Oh, you need help. Hang on a sec. Hey! You want me to help you? I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, you did it. Congratulations. First time ever you've been able to turn on the stove. Some kind of a cook. Hey, you like our overalls? Yeah, overalls, babies. Oh, well. Nice overalls. That's all I can say. Alright, so we got some beans going into the steamed fish. Cut off the tips of these okra. I don't even know. I hear all my older generation always says okra is good for you. It has all these health benefits and all. I don't know if any of it's true. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell that it's good for me after I eat it. But one thing I can tell you, I just love the taste. I absolutely love the taste. So I'm going into this steamed fish today. Lots of okra. Whoa, the pan's boiling. Sashi, we need to find some oil to make those fritters.
Okay, I'll get some oil.
Got some oil there?
Yeah.
I noticed your singing stop. Are you not enjoying the cooking anymore? Because normally, when you're singing, I know you're happy. But if you're not singing, what does that mean? Mean the cooking is not exciting anymore? Oh, you still keep singing. Alright, you know what? I'm putting in all this okra in this steamed fish. Oh, did you put some oil in the pan?
Yeah.
Good girl.
I got oil in my hand.
Don't worry about the oil in your hand.
No, 'cause
You're in the kitchen. You're in the kitchen. You're in the kitchen. You're in the kitchen. I told you before. It kind of get messy in here.
No,
Oh, you keep the tap running. Why?
I do not know.
What? Why keep the tap running? So stay away from the oil. Stay away from the fire. Come over and keep mixing your things to make sure all those. I still have to check it to see if the consistency is alright for fritters.
Is that
It
alright?
looks good. So, does it smell good? Have you smelled it?
Smells yummy.
It smells yummy? Well, if it smells yummy, I think that what you can safely say is that it's going to be yummy. So these are broccolinis, right? I saw them in a supermarket when I was in Jamaica in January. So that means to say if you're in Jamaica and you're cooking this dish, you can get broccoli. I'm gonna cut off just the edges. I mean, this is all good stuff and I don't really want to waste too much. Like I said, I'm putting it all in the compost. All these broccoli, and I just cut them at little bite size and they're going in the fish dish. This fish is gonna be sick. We'll get some garlic in there as well. Get some garlic. I love garlic. I don't even know what the benefits are from eating garlic. If anybody knows, you can just make a comment about it underneath the video. Don't forget, you can always subscribe and like and share and comment and give me some tips because I'm looking to cook more Jamaican dishes, yeah? Some of them I don't remember how to make them. I don't remember all the recipes, but I remember my grandmother used to make some amazing Jamaican dishes, you know, mainly sweets. I don't know how to make the Jamaican sweets. The only one I know to make real good is pudding. I can make a good sweet potato pudding. Wish I remember how to make almond drops, coconut cake, buster, all those things, man. Oh, yeah, I love a lot of garlic, especially in my fish. Some people don't like garlic, but you know, I'm blessed. I can do it this way because everybody in my house loves garlic. So put a generous amount of garlic in this steamed fish. Keep mixing it up, sweetheart. Mixing it, mixing it, mixing it. All right, let me see it. So we need, sweetie, we need a little bit more oil.
That was a different one that I used.
No, that's all right. You use olive oil.
Yeah, that's what I used.
Yeah. You use olive oil, but that's all right. You can use that one. Okay, let me have a look. Yeah, this is a nice, good consistency, but there's a few little lumps in it. We don't want any little lumpy bits of flour. So mix it all out, mix it all out, mix it all out. Yes.
This isn't as much oil as I added last time.
Hmm?
It's a bit more. I only added a bit more oil last time.
Yeah, I think this consistency is alright. See, for the fritters, it's not meant to be a dumpling. It's meant to be nice and fluffy and soft and tasty. Alright, cool. So this fish dish is coming on nicely. We season up the fish just like when we are actually cooking meat. See, put in all the regular spices and herbs and things and things. And we're gonna cook all of these beans, because if we don't cook all of these beans today, I can guarantee you that by the time my wife goes shopping, there'll be more beans coming into the house. And if we don't eat these, they might be the ones get thrown into the compost, which means the worms will get it, and that's fine because the worms get to eat. But if we can eat them, we eat them because they're good for us. I still have a few of this here. Put that in there. I don't think little Sashi is going to be having any of this dish. She's not going to have any fish, is she?
I'll try it.
You're going to try a bit of fish? Anyway, we're going to still put a scotch bonnet in it, just to give it some flavor. We don't want the heat. We're not going to be
Can I add
breaking
some
it
of my
open.
fritter mix?
Okay,
Can I add some of my fritter mix now?
hold on a second. I gotta get you something to take it out. So we're not going to use the fork.
I can use this.
I think you should use one of these spoons here because we don't want them too big. So we'll use a soup spoon.
Tablespoon.
Whatever. So you take that. I'm gonna get the camera.
Can I take this over there?
Yes, you can.
And can I add it into the pan? Can I add it
Not
in?
yet.
Oh.
Just coming over to you. All right, little Sasha is ready to sample her. Hang on a sec. We gotta test if the oil's hot first. So we'll put a little tip in. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good temperature. And we keep it down to a modest little temperature. So what you do is actually you're gonna need one of those bigger ones.
Yeah, I
The
told you.
Oh, there's no need to be like that. Who's the teacher here? Hold on a second. Don't stop it. Get this nice and close to the stove so you don't leave a whole heap of drip drops. And you go from there into the pan, just in the middle of the pan. All right, so we're gonna just do one, yeah? Just to see what it's like. We're gonna do one and taste it. And that way we'll be able to tell if we need to put more,
What can we use to flip it?
Oh, well, we have lots of flippers. You know that little spatula?
But where?
Look in that drawer in the cupboard. Spatula, little black spatula? No, not there? Maybe have a look in the dishwasher. See if the spatula is there. If not, we can use a fork to flip it, but if you can find a spatula, it'd be better for you to use. No spatula? Okay, no problems. Get a fork. Yeah, it's looking alright. Looking alright at the moment. We're not going to flip it yet, but you can just stick the fork underneath the bottom and tease it. Just don't make it splatter into the oil because it will splatter onto you, alright? So, yeah, that's cool, Leo. Do you want me to teach you how to flip it over?
Yeah.
Okay. So, to flip it over when you don't have a spatula, you go underneath and you probably bring it to the edge of the pan and flip it over because I don't want the oil to come back and get onto you, alright? So you can't cook this in too much of a hurry. What's going on with your eyes?
Okay.
You can't cook this in too much of a hurry. The fire is probably a bit too high for me. So we just turn it on a little bit so it cooks nice and evenly and slower than it is actually cooking at the moment. Yeah, about that level of flame is enough. Eyes are hurting?
Yeah.
Maybe there's too much onions in the pot. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Done?
Not yet, not yet. And keep your hand away from the pan because that pan is very, very hot. So you don't want to get your hand anywhere near it. In fact, open up the dishwasher and have a good look if the spatula is in it. If it is, we use it instead of using the fork. So we want to get these nice and golden brown. We don't want them to burn. Nice and golden brownish. Fritters, Jamaican fritters. It looks good, smells good, and I think it will taste good. So that's enough to make about 20.
Hey, there's a spatula here.
There's a little spatula there. Alright. So finally, a little sashes found a spatula. But even though you've got the spatula, you don't want to go too close to the pan because you don't want this oil to flip over and come back and splatter on you.
Okay, now
Not ready yet. Not ready yet.
But I'll just grab a plate to put it on.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice. And in the meantime, this is what our seasoning looks like for our fish dish. Have a look at that. Sashi, what do you think about that? Yeah, it looks alright, doesn't it?
Chili.
That's huh?
Got chili.
Except for the chili. You're not a big fan of the chili? Okay. How are you going with the fritters?
Is the fritter done?
Just a little bit more on that side, and then it will be done.
And then I can put it on my plate.
And I'm gonna sample it for you.
Can I put it in there on the plate?
So when you're gonna pick it up, bring me the fork.
I already put the fork in the water. Yeah. But I can do it.
Yeah, I want you to pick it up like that.
But why can't I just use the spatula, put it on the spatula?
Because I think the spatula will pick up the oil. Good girl, stand back. Okay, so we're going to turn off that pan, turn off the fire, and you can get the spatula or the fork. So when you pick it up on the fork,
I'm going to use the spatula.
okay, you get with the spatula, get underneath it, and just hold it, watch your fingers on the pan, don't get it, just hold it up, let the oil drip off it. Let oil drip a little bit, drip, 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 and then put it on the plate. Cool. All right. Let's go and have a sample. What do you reckon? All right. So just let it cool down for a little bit, but that's Sashi's very first Jamaican saltfish fritters. Yeah, are you proud of it? You like what it looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do? Okay, so I'm gonna sample it for you and tell you what I think. See, I'll take you a little tour of all the ingredients that we got going on here. There's all the Scotch bonnet peppers,
Here's a fork.
sweet pepper, we got tomatoes, onions, garlic, beans, lemons, custard apple, plantains, spinach, cauliflower, wow, onions, thyme, got it all.
Now we have some sweet chili sauce to put next to the fritter on a different plate.
Cool. All right, well, it's time to sample Sasha's very first Jamaican fritters made with saltfish. To put it straight on the plate. I like a little bit of sweet chili sauce with my fritters, so I'm gonna have a half of it. And yeah, I like the consistency. I can see, I can smell that codfish coming through nice and beautiful. Sashi is perfect.
Yeah.
It really is perfect. You should pick it up and taste a little taste. It's a bit hot.
Yummy.
Yum.
I'm gonna have to
I love that. Yum, 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 yum. Is that a song? All right. Wow. Well done. Beautiful.
It's really yummy.
Yeah. Well, cool. So that's Jamaican fritters with salt fish. Very easy, very simple, very quick, and very staple as well in Jamaica. So we could, some people call it stamp and go. I heard an explanation for that one time. I don't believe it, but it was funny. Apparently, the reason why it's called stamp and go is when you go to someone's house and they give you a fritters, you stamp your foot and then you go. Anyway, how is it?